It is hard living in community. Community can be very difficult. I connected a lot to family life. Family life can be difficult. I once had a friar tell me that community life is like a washing machine. There's a cycle on it called agitation, where things get rubbed together, but the clothes come out clean. And so in community life, there can be many great blessings and many great challenges, but the goal and what God does among that is to make us holy and to make us better, even sometimes more through the challenges than through the joys. So yeah, it can be difficult.
There's a lot of pieces to that question, that it's such a joy to live with other people that are committed to Christ, to be his spouse, and that, yeah, like sometimes, with different personalities, which is totally normal, that we might rub up against each other, but yet at the end of the day, that we're still sisters in Christ, and that we're able to forgive one another and be able to move on. So yeah, it's been a great joy. It's been a great joy. At moments, yeah, it's hard, but yet it has caused me as a person to grow so much as a result.
No, because I come from a big family. I have 9 siblings, so I survived. I'm the last of 10, and I always was surrounded by people, men and women. So living in community now with men, it's a lot of fun. I learn from different cultures, and they also learn from my culture. And we practice patience and charity.
I would say definitely it's difficult to live in community. I grew up with 4 siblings and my mom and dad, and you're, depending on how many people are in the house or in the situation, you're always going to butt heads. When there's lots of people that need to use the bathroom, or when you got to wait in line for your food at dinner time, and you're trying to get through the tight spaces in the kitchen and the chapel and everywhere. And there's always going to be differences of opinions, different things of how something should be done. But I think those things that make community life hard are also is what makes community life all the better. Because in order to grow in holiness, we need to be challenged. And oftentimes it's impossible to see your own faults, at least to see them fully. But living in community, everybody can point out your faults to you, or at least help you to recognize them. And that's how we grow in holiness. And in holiness, it's difficult. It's not easy. It's hard to examine yourself and to try to grow. But having brothers in community to challenge you or to point out, like, hey, you were really rude there, or why do you think you always got to be right, and that sort of stuff is important for our growth in humility.
The way that I always describe this to my friends and my family is that it's there's a Goldilocks principle to all of religious life, and that includes community life. So in terms of poverty, it's maybe easy to understand that for each individual person, you have to find this balance, and that's kind of going to guide you to the community that you're called to. And so some communities probably would be too austere for me. It might be an occasion of pridefulness. Whereas other communities, maybe I would need a little more austerity in order to become the saint that God's calling me to be. The same is true in community life. That I love my brothers. It's a great joy to be with them. I find that spending time with them, whether it's playing foosball or going for a walk or coffee, recharges me, fills me up with joy, equips me to go back out to the world in ministry. And yet at the same time, there's that element of these guys help me to be purified, to put it that way. Help me to grow in holiness. Help me to become the saint that God's calling me to be.